This month's Wednesday episodes are centered around moral values. The top 5 moral values I hold dear to my heart and I strive to uphold and I hope to instill in my own children. The last few weeks, I've talked about honesty, integrity, and personal responsibility. So if you missed those, please go back and listen. This week is all about accountability. So, what is accountability? Accountability is taking responsibility for one's actions and being answerable to yourself and to others. Accountability encourages you to consider the impact of your choices on yourself and others, which aids you in the pursuit of ethical decision making. It also enables individuals to develop a sense of ownership, the ability to learn from your mistakes and to make positive changes. So, what does all this mean? Basically, accountability has two parts, one to yourself and to others. So, how can you be more accountable to yourself? Accountable to yourself is the ability to discipline yourself and to achieve your goals. It's a it's about you being able to manage and take ownership of your work and your life tasks responsibly. It's your ability to fulfill your obligations. Accountability is also that you are able to accept the outcomes of your decision making processes and assess any changes you want to make in the future. So, checking out, hey, where do I want to go with my life? Am I doing that? And then make those adjustments to create the life that you want. Self accountable people often have the following traits. They're often very organized. They have great planning abilities. They have the ability to stick to a schedule. They're also usually very focused. They have the ability to concentrate and do things without being too distracted. Self-accountable people often think ahead and also think long term. So they'll ask themselves questions such as, what will happen if I do this? What will happen if I don't? And then thinking long term, like, where do I want to be in 5 years? And will this help me get there? So their thinking process is beyond today. It is looking ahead and thinking of the circumstances and the consequences of their actions and their decisions. Self-accountable people also have the ability to set goals and create action steps and do them. They can break bad habits by setting goals and well, first being able to recognize that they want to do something and then set goals to make those changes and create the life or what they really want instead. So, for example, if somebody wants to lose weight, a self-accountable person says, "Oh gosh, they look at themselves, they want more energy, they want less flab, whatever," and they ask, "Okay, well, what is it that I want?" So they set a goal, they create those action steps so they can obtain that goal. And so they plan ahead. They stick to their plan and being able to think of the potential obstacles that might get in the way, that might hinder their ability to lose weight. And they focus on how they're going to respond to that. So if it's going to be a Christmas party or a party at work, and they know there's going to be things that they don't want, then they plan ahead. They might bring their own snack. They might bring a healthy thing. They might eat a little bit before that or only take one. And so they're being more proactive instead of reactive. So now, like, what is being accountable to others? Being accountable to others is that you strive to meet your commitments. You deliver on your promises. You do what you say you will do. And you're going to remain transparent about your progress and your results. So you follow through on your promises. You communicate your progress that you're making. You keep people informed of what is happening. And also, people can rely on you. They know they can rely on you because you keep your word. And this then creates a powerful connection with others because the relationship is based on trust and respect. There are also a lot of benefits of being accountable. Being accountable, you can have improved self-awareness and self-reflection because you have to look at yourself. You have to look at what you're doing, what you're thinking, and you become then more aware of your strengths. What do you do well? The weaknesses, some of the things that maybe you can improve upon, some of the patterns of behavior that come out when you are doing things more often. You could also have increased motivation and productivity because by setting goals and following through with them, you get things done, right? You're more productive. You have stronger relationships that are built around trust, respect, and you're credible because you say you do what you say you're going to do. When you are accountable to others, you are more likely to follow through on your commitments. Research shows that having an accountability partner can increase the likelihood of you achieving your goal by 65%. That's just by naming somebody. But if you set up a regular time to check in with your accountability partner about your progress, research shows it bumps up to 95%. You're 95% more likely to complete your goal, and you don't even have to know this person. That is just so weird to me. It's just like, wow, I don't even, it doesn't have to be my best friend. It doesn't have to be my spouse. It doesn't have to be a coworker. It could just be, hey, you have a group of people that say, hey, I want to reach this goal. These habit tracking apps can have these where you can just check in with somebody and you're 95% more likely to achieve your goal when you check in with somebody. Also, a benefit of being accountable is that you learn from your mistakes, which allows you to make better decisions in the future and it improves your problem solving abilities. And you can make those decisions even faster for you. Setting and achieving goals can give you a sense of purpose, direction, accomplishment, and fulfillment, which can lead to greater life satisfaction and happiness. And another benefit, you have a sense of control over your life. You realize that you are the captain of your ship, the conductor of your life, and you can create the life you want. So this is all great, right? We can all be accountable in some ways to ourselves and others. But what happens when someone is not accountable? They're not accountable to themselves and they're not accountable to others. Well, this often happens when someone chooses to not take ownership or take responsibility for their actions. How does this happen? Well, oftentimes when people choose not to take responsibility or ownership, they fear failure. They may be scared to admit that they're not perfect. They're scared to admit that they have some weaknesses, that they don't know it all or they can't do it. So they might blame someone or something else for the reason they don't want to do it or the reason it didn't work out. Often, when someone is not accountable to themselves or others, they also don't have the discipline to follow through, or they have a tendency to procrastinate a lot. They don't do what they say they're going to do, or they downplay or deny that it is important to follow through on their word, that it really doesn't matter. No one's paying attention. They can also resist change and discomfort. They don't want to step outside their comfort zone. They don't want to take risks. And in not doing so, they don't learn or grow. Not being accountable can negatively impact your relationships. Others can't rely on you. They don't trust you. You lose their respect. And it can hinder your job performance, which ultimately can lead to you losing your job. So, what can you do if you find yourself journeying down the path of not taking responsibility for your actions or not being accountable to others? It starts with self awareness of which areas in your life that you're not taking responsibility, that you're not being accountable. Where do you find yourself giving excuses, blaming others, or scared to face reality, scared to start, scared to do something? Another thing you can do is to take risks, get uncomfortable. Step outside your comfort zone. Set specific goals and action steps to change the thoughts, your feelings, and your actions to ones that are more responsible or more accountable. You can also track your progress towards your goals. You can measure your results. It's good to measure things, just in general, but it's really good to measure where you started from and your journey of growth and improvement along the way so you can see how far you've come, to see the gains you've made. Because often we don't remember what it was like when we first started out. And if you keep making progress, if you keep tracking your progress, you can see those little things those little habits that you're doing, they add up and they actually create the change that you want. And you can do this by using a journal or a habit tracking app or even making your own spreadsheet. I've done all of these and they all work. Another thing you can do if you find yourself journeying down the path of not taking responsibility for your actions or being accountable is to seek support from others. Declare and share your goals publicly. Oftentimes, that's all we need to follow through because somebody else knows and we want to do what we say that we're going to do. But sometimes that's not enough. And then it's important to get an accountability partner. Like I said earlier, research shows that you have an accountability partner, you can increase the likelihood of achieving your goal by 65%. But if you set up a regular time to check in with your accountability partner about your progress, you are 95% more likely to complete your goal. And this could be as simple as just sending off a text to somebody about that you accomplished what you said you were going to do. And you don't even have to know this person. And that's the amazing thing about it. Another thing you can do is to practice self-compassion and forgiveness. We're not perfect. You will make mistakes. You will procrastinate. You will not live up to what you said you were going to do 100% of the time. So give yourself some grace. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from your missteps and grow from them. Keep moving forward. Every experience is an opportunity to grow. Accountability is an important moral value as it helps us take responsibility for our actions and ownership of our lives. It allows us to work in harmony with others, creating relationships built on respect and trust. Being accountable allows us to get along with others more, to learn and grow from our mistakes, and to really take control of our lives so we create and live a fulfilling and satisfying life. Pat Summit states, accountability is essential to personal growth as well as team growth. How can you improve if you're never wrong? If you don't admit a mistake and take responsibility for it, you're bound to make the same one again. Next week's moral value is hard work. See you then.